Hey, welcome back to Odds Mods. This time I'm gonna show you how to change the light in your flashlight. Now, I've already pulled out most of the screws. What you're going to do is pull out all the screws on this side. Then you want to flip it over and pull the cover off because all the internals are in this side as well. You're going to want to pull out all the screws which are holding this light LED in. You're also going to pull these out to gain access to this piece, which will help you remove the screws for this. Now all you're going to need for this is solder and a soldering iron. In this project we'll be working with solder and deadly fumes that come from solder. Be sure that you always are working in an area where you have a fan blowing the solder away from you or sucking it out a window. Please ensure that this always happens. Be safe. Alright, when you're removing this red LED, what you want to do is you want to desolder the two prongs back here first. Please be sure to gently heat. You want to heat and melt the lead first, then you want to carefully tug and pull on it at the same time. This will allow you to easily pull it off. Don't want to damage the holes because you will need those for later. Now, when you're putting the new LED in, you're going to note the position on the circuit board itself. As you can see, it's got a flat side on the side of a circle. Now, I've chosen a green LED, but on this LED, there is also a flat side. You may not be able to see it, but if you do this mod, you'll clearly see it when you pick up the LED. That side is negative. You must always keep in mind that the short lead LED is negative, the long one's always positive. Now, you're going to want to very carefully solder this back into the circuit board. You can go as low as you want, all the way down, or you can simply put it on top of the old housing and solder it back in that way. I'm just going to solder mine down all the way to the board. Now, as you can see, my soldering is done. All you want to do now is just clip off these leads as close to the solder as you can and screw it all back together. When reassembling, this part is crucial. This grooved piece right here allows it to lock in the forward and back positions. This circuit board must always be pointing up with this side facing towards you. The smallest screws always go in the back to hold the circuit board onto the actual system. Make sure these are on snug but not tight. This is what it should look like completely wired in. The switch and the tab all lock back together. I have noted that one of the pieces is broken off, and I'm just going to resolder that back together right now. Prior to mod, after mod. I usually put in a 10mm blue LED, which does need a little bit of trimming on the housing itself, but this makes a very effective flashlight. I'll actually show you my blue LED flashlight right now. That is with a 10mm blue LED. I like this flashlight because it's super bright blue LED, and it also makes orange glow really brightly as well. I use my other two flashlights to demonstrate this. As you can see, for me, the orange lights up like a neon sign in the dark, which easily helps me identify my darts. Whereas for another color, say red, which is barely visible right now apparently, but as you can see, it's barely being visible at all. With green working efficiently at it, but not great. But that is why I always stick my super bright jumbo blue LED flashlight.